What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back home, and we're going to get some footage for you guys here. Apologies again for the earlier video. I had no commentary there. We were at the ball game. I got home. The kids are down. I am pooped, but I got a chance to also play a little bit of this as well here. So hopefully the footage helps you guys out. We are currently on cell 6, and I'm going to let you guys know right now that my intentions all along were to bring up my Shadow Conclave. So definitely for sure, I'm most likely going to be bringing these guys up here for the cell 6. But before I do, I did want to show you guys what I use for cells 1 to 5. And again, I'm going to play test it around here maybe for the next few days or so and figure out if there's any alternative free-to-play friendly teams as well. But keep in mind here, some of the teams that I have built up, I haven't really put resources into them. So if you guys go back and look at some of my other videos, whether it's yesterday or just this week, you'll see that I haven't really spent any of my gold at all. So it's kind of been around the same. But let's quickly jump into the roster so you guys can have a look here before we jump into the gameplay. Again, are these my favorites? Yes, they are. Okay. Sorry, my brain's a little fried right now because the kids were asking me a lot of questions about baseball, and I didn't have the answers, and so my brain's kind of all over the place, mushy. So the first node, we do run Liberty. We had Liberty built up way back when we ran the Professor Xavier saga, and I do believe that if you have Vigilante will also work quite well. So if you have Liberty, again, most of them are 105. They're built up. They're T4. They're Diamond 3, Tier 20. I think everyone's Tier 20 except for Sam. But unfortunately, that's just the case. I'll see if I can mess around with some Cell 1 teams later on. But I just want to let you guys know that's the team we use. And then, of course, as well, the second team, we use sort of an Apocalypse team with Cabal. Cabal, again, shines very nicely here. These guys are so good in Crucible, despite how outdated they are. So again, in War, they get a lot of massive bonuses, and I always like this guy. He gives so much bonuses to villains, and the Safeguard and the Safeguard to the Cabal guys is just absolutely game-changing here. And of course, as well, we're gonna have Sebastian Shaw being the tank for us on that team. So he is also Tier 20, level 105. Pretty beefed up. So apologies there again. I tried my best not to bring up any characters to level 110 because I am very frivolous with my gold. So that's kind of the first couple of nodes. And then once we get into the later sections with the Global, then we have to start getting a little bit more crafty. Oh, node 3, basically, we just run Fantastic Four with Xavier. Again, Xavier is the only character I think I run on this that's level 110. So just keep that in mind in your back pocket. And then, of course, I think, yeah, the one that's kind of giving people a lot of grief here, and I'm going to just filter it here, is this Mystic Skill section, which basically calls for the Brimstone, right? And what we try to do here is we actually try not to use Brimstone. We use our level 105 Null, and we also combine him with Kahori because she gets the extra speed and a couple of other stragglers here. But yeah, nothing worth mentioning. It's just I was just trying to do I was just trying to get around a bypass without having to use Brimstone, because what's important after that pesky node 4 is node 5, which is the one that even if you use Brimstone, it doesn't work. And that's the one where we kind of rely on our Undying team. So I don't have the Undying built up, but I'll let you guys know now that I did bring Zuggs up for the Xavier saga. So he's massive. He is absolutely massive. And so is Scarlet Witch. Also, I almost have her at, full 7. So that's pretty cool. But her passive is what kicks the Mephisto's butt and the Fantastic Four. If this character's health is greater or equal to 50%, speed of all enemies can only be increased by positive effects, and they cannot fill their speed bar. So this is very important when you want to play up against that Fantastic Four node with the Mephisto. So again, Scarlet Witch and Juggernaut are the only ones I have built up. Everybody else sucks. We just have Iron Man in here because he gives the defense up, and also he does a lot on the offense side of things. If this character has 2 or more, then basically they apply speed up for turns to self and all non-summon unallies. And also, yeah, it's just a couple little extras. If this character's health is greater or equal to 50%, enemies can't gain death proof either. So it's really nice because it counteract a lot of those buffs from the Fantastic Four and the Mephisto. And of course, as well, I did have him sort of kind of built up when we did the Undying saga, where you could do the I forget what it was like the brains event, right? So he is level 95, but that's all you need. You don't need Kestro, and you don't need hella. We just need the 3-piece, and we're going to combine them with our boy. Omega Red. And of course as well, we're going to combine him with our favorite PvE master, Daemon. So these two are the last two pieces to that node 5. I think a lot of people built up Winter Guard. If you built up Winter Guard, you can just smash it with node 5. Cell 5 is built for Winter Guard, so you can pretty much just Winter Guard it. But yeah, my 4 diamond Omega Red, the reason why I have him in there is because he's 4 diamonds. I'm sure you could probably do it with somebody else. I just threw him in there because he was already 4 diamonds. And he's tier 20. I think he's tier 20. Yeah, he's tier 20 as well. So Daemon's also tier 20, and I have him as a raider for maximum damage. So other than that, that's the roster there in itself. Let's jump into the gameplay. Okay, so the first cell is pretty straightforward, and again, we run Liberty, but I sped the footage up because I do value your guys' time, and I think for the most part, if you can't use Liberty completely, just remember Joaquin is very, very massive here because he allows the taunt on all these guys. So what you can do is you can pretty much just hit auto. Honestly, that's what I did. I did this when I was at the baseball game, and I'm doing it now because you just don't need to worry about it. It's a very simple node. And you know, people might get mad at me for saying it, but I think it's a gimme. You know, you can pretty much use Xavier, you can use whatever here, and like I said, mine are all built up. This is a very, very outdated war team, and still very good, So take advantage of it. We're not going to use them again here. The next one, we use the 3-piece Cabal, and again, we'll run it at the regular speed so you guys can see it. But what I will mention here is the fact that in my earlier one, I did actually have Omega Red in here, and that's actually, you know, if you are using Winter Guard, you do not want to use your Omega Red here. So thank you guys for pointing that out. I was at the baseball game. I didn't care. I wasn't paying attention. I completely forgot that Omega Red was Winter Guard, so I just kind of scraped over that detail, but apologies there. So Sebastian Shaw is going to open up with this massive special. He's going to clear the barrier, and as you guys can see here, that tier 20 Sebastian Shaw absolutely just decimates. That's also good to have Cabal here because they're going to get all these extra bonuses to these villains. Our Apocalypse also gives a lot of extra passive bonuses to the team itself. I was just talking smack about Apocalypse the other day about how you shouldn't build him up if you're an early game player, and you still shouldn't. But we have him unlocked here because we've been playing this game forever. And right here, he does shine because of the fact that he gives all these massive, massive bonuses to the Cabal team. Even though they're level 100, they can hold their own here on the cell too. And for the most part, I don't know if the cell is giving people grief or not. I just know from my standpoint, when I was playing through it, seemed to be quite flexible. A lot of people can use a lot of different comps here. Fairly straightforward, I think, especially Cabal. Like I said, these guys are built for Cosmic Crucible, and somehow they still absolutely shine in war. So I was pretty stoked that I could use them here. And yeah, like I said, it's very, very good team. They got lots of great buffs, safeguard, speed up, heals, like absolutely crazy. Save the ult here. You don't want to use the ult here until the next wave drops. That's important. Again, Sebastian Shaw, he just does so much, and he's a raid character, so a lot of people will have built him up. And if not, you're definitely missing out. He's great. He's absolutely still one of my faves. I'm just a big X-Men geek, and way back even in the comic days, yeah, just the whole Black Order, and sorry, the Black, you know, their Black Club, the Hellfire Club, and with Emma Frost, and then of course Xavier and Magneto. Just I love all that. I love all that lore. So Sebastian Shaw has always been one of my all-time faves. So yeah, so he basically always shines in PvE because he can use that stun that he has. It's so annoying. So that's why I love him so much. And he hits so much. He hits and rebounds and everything. So when that wave drops, that's when we throw that big, massive punch. And this is going to basically cleanse. And look, Sebastian Shaw is on their side now, it looks like. He decided to change sides. That's funny. And then you can pretty much just hit auto here, honestly. The rest is done. Very straightforward. It's not going to be too hard for you guys. Give it a shot. Try the 3-piece Cabal. I'm not sure if you can get away with maybe having someone else instead of Sebastian, but he seems to really shine here, and I don't think you're going to use him again here. Apocalypse as well. Just the synergy with all these guys really makes his team flow. So hopefully that makes sense. Cell number 3, again, we're going to speed footage up on this because I got to be honest with you guys, I didn't really care for it. We have all these heroes and we're not using them, so I literally just ran Professor Xavier, and I basically just brought Blue Marvel in, hit the auto, called it a day. So you guys can call me lazy, you guys can whatever. I just didn't care for it. It was very straightforward. Like I said, if you have these characters built up. Having said that, I will play test this around maybe tomorrow. Again, it's late in the evening here, and I just don't want to be. Yeah, I want to be off my phone now because yeah, I've been it's a long day of work. Followed by a long day of extracurriculars, and I don't need to make more work for myself here. So that's the reason why. So we basically just put this on cruise control, let Xavier do the job for us, and of course as well, why the heck not reap the benefits of the fact that I have Blue Marvel unlocked? So I'm going to take advantage of that. So anyways, hopefully makes sense. Sorry if that's not the footage you guys want to see. I know Rage, I'm not sure what team he used, but I know he's probably got some videos out. So check out his channel as well. I'm sure he probably used a more conventional team, knowing him. I haven't had a chance to talk with him because I've been on the road all day. So again, that's cell number 3. Let's quickly jump into the next one now. So if you guys might have seen my footage from before, we did use a combination of Quasar, Black Knight, and Kahori and Thanos Endgame. And now people are telling me that it's a good idea to save your Annihilators for the last section. But I don't know if I want to use my Annihilators. I was actually kind of thinking I might use my Shadow Conclave. But anyways, if you are running, if you want to save your Null and your 3-piece Annihilators for the last section, definitely do so. Don't follow this strategy here. This one, like I said, seems to work for me. Flip the buffs with Null. He's going to flip stuff up. He's going to get things done for us. And you can basically, yeah, like I said, you can basically, I think, put this on cruise control as well here. But yeah, Null does a lot of the heavy lifting. Actually, Kahori does a lot too. She actually is like pretty massive here. All the negatives that she applies is pretty crazy. So I'm pretty, yeah, I'm pretty excited that we get to use her here, at least as an alternate, because yeah, it's a little sad we can't use the full absolute A-Force team, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and unfortunately, yeah, there's some pretty big monsters here between the Odin and the Apocalypse, and of course everybody being on the same board as well. It makes it quite a pain in the ass for us. So hopefully you guys can get through it, and like I said, it's not too bad once you get through it. It's fairly straightforward, and I did have footage of it earlier, so hopefully that makes sense. But I think you guys get the gist of it. I'm going to speed it up here so that way you're not seeing this entire full-blown battle. But again, I wanted to showcase the fact that we slowed it down a little bit so you guys can kind of see what happens here. Basically, you just take the Odin out. Once you take Odin out, the whole one is, this one's easy. Apocalypse, I don't even know if he ults. I think he just kind of stands there and looks pretty. But otherwise, yeah, Quasar is going to do his special, and he absolutely just decimates. And of course, Quasar is big here because he cancels a lot of that speed manipulation at the start of the battle. So you want to make sure you have him there. Other than that, we'll speed it up, like I said. And Kahori is just absolutely, like I said, taking 2 turns every single time is just massive. So if you're able to kind of figure out a workaround without Null or the Annihilators, perhaps Kahori will be a key piece to that because of how fast she can move. And I feel like that's going to be important here. But yeah, Null is also quite good. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes here. So now the cell that probably everyone's trying to figure out here. And again, I try to use a value team here. We have, like I said, we don't have everybody built up for the Undying. So we use a 3-piece here. And what is actually pretty cool is the fact that we can cancel that speed manipulation. Scarlet Witch does her special here to open things up. And then, of course, Zuggs opens up with his big special, applying trauma, bleeds, everything you can think of under the sun. And then we're going to be able to use Iron Man here. And again, I don't know if he's required or not. I think as long as you have, a couple of them to cancel the speed, Damon's going to be able to do his thing here. He's going to do that massive ult that he loves doing. And hopefully you can get some crits with it as well. I think for sure if you can get some massive crits here, it's going to help out. They use the ult. It tickles us a little bit. We've got the safeguard and the defense up thanks to the Iron Man, so that's great. We're gonna save the ult right now because we don't need to, and we're gonna focus on Mr. Fantastic just because we want to. You can switch over to Invisible Woman if you want, but I feel like you got to take care of Mr. Fantastic because we don't want all these buffs coming back to us. And yeah, that's kind of the reason why I want to take them out. We do the little basic here, which is AoE nice. When the next wave drop, which is basically when there's 3 or less, then you want to make sure you can throw that big Omega Red ult. I love Omega Red for that reason, and hence the reason why I brought him in here. So just keep that in mind. And again, as well, like I said, we'll throw this on here. That's going to drop the next wave, which is, I believe it's Is it the Eternals? I forget now. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Xerxes and Icarus, if I'm not mistaken here. Yep. And oh, of course, Hulk. I forgot about Hulk. So throw the ult, everyone dies. Get the trauma and the bleeds. And again, Daemon doesn't have his cooldowns back up yet, but that's okay, because what is going to end up happening is we can still use Scarlet Witch's ult, which is going to apply some more negatives. Ability block, great stuff there. And then guess what? We're going to be able to bomb now. Double tap this stuff. Let's take this baby home. So hopefully it helps you guys out. That's how we're going to do it here, with basically minimal investing. No Retcon, no Winter Guard. Unfortunately, I do use Liberty, but they're an older team here. But yeah, I think the main gist is you don't have to at least rely on some of those other teams. And again, as well, I think what I'll do here is I'm going to see if I can test around here with Shadow Conclave. And when I do, I'm going to see if I can figure out a more efficient path forward if you guys do decide to use the Shadow Conclave. And I think that's all I got to say about that. So otherwise, like I said, this is only cells 1 to 5, so apologies, it's not complete, but like I already said, my intentions all along was to build Shadow Conclave for the Age of Fear, because if you guys had seen some of my earlier videos, I had alluded to that, and I said it's, you know, I've always been a big fan of Thanos as well, so I'm going to build them up for sure. I just want to see how much I need to build them up, so I'm going to get back to you guys on that. Other than that, guys, I hope this helps you guys out. Hopefully gives you guys some alternative teams you can utilize here for your, you know, for your climb. And other than that, happy Friday, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you guys in the next one.